We are declaring war here at the casino today.
There is war
on the Rekieta janitors. And there's going to be no mercy for the Rekieta janitors. All of those that are trying to sweep it up. And it's just as I predicted it would go. At first, they started attacking the pastor and attacking the church. And they're still doing that.
Yeah.
But I said they're actually going to get to the point where they attack the children. And we're actually at the point now where Ethan Van Sciver is saying the children are lazy. It was the children's fault this happened. The children needed to step up. Like, this is fucking
it's better
lunatic
for them.
Shit.
It's better for them. This happened.
They're actually going to grow and develop as people and be better people because this happened.
EVS is sick.
He's sick in the fucking head.
He's bad, bud. He's twisted.
This is the shit that we're actually dealing with now. Where instead of asking Rekieta to take responsibility for being a cokehead, a baldo wearer, a cuckold, a degenerate fiend, having guns stored improperly around his children, instead of Rekieta taking any responsibility for any of that, his children being hungry, his children being stinky, instead, it's the children who need to take responsibility for it.
What?
It's just fucking lunatic shit.
Back in my day, we used to big O cereal. Okay, go ahead.
But this standard would not be applied to anybody else.
No!
If this was some black e-celeb or just some random black guy, most of these motherfuckers would put them up on the cross.
What if it was Eric July?
If it was Eric July who did this,
he'd be hung.
We would never, ever, ever hear the end of it. But Ethan Van Sciver still to this day tries to say that Eric July being like Marvel is a bigger problem for society than Rekieta not feeding his children and being a cokehead. Like, he's actually trying to argue this shit and trying to push it. And it's just insane. And the people doing this, it's like, are you okay? Like, do you have fucking brain damage? And if say this, if with Melanie Mack, if this was a gay person or a gay couple that fucking did this, right? It would be this is the degeneracy of same-sex adoption.
Hell on earth.
They can't be allowed to have kids because they didn't feed them. But because it's Nicholas Rekieta of LawTube, we have to sweep it up for him. When if it was a gay couple or a black couple that was doing this degenerate swinger shit, cokehead shit, they would be absolutely nailed to the cross, but Rekieta gets a broomstick and a pass.
Or
it's
if it was
bullshit.
A leftist, if it was a journalist, if it was like anyone that they talk shit about, it would be like, they're the worst people. But when it's Rekieta, sweep it up. No, it's the kid's fault. Pray for him.
And you know
nothing to see
here.
here.
You know what they're trying to say is that anybody who criticizes him is a social justice warrior.
Yes.
This is fucking beyond delusional. You don't have to be a social justice warrior to condemn child abuse. I don't know why this is such a fucking hard concept to understand. I don't get it. It's like, no, you must be a leftist trying to suppress speech and freedom. You're an SJW. Like, these tactics don't work anymore. It's 2024. You can't just SJW jacket Andy Worski.
Yes!
This is insane.
By the way, you know what's so funny, Ashton? How we get called out for being too edgy. They've said slurs in the past.
Too far to the right wing.
Or this or that. But the minute we say anything that you don't agree with, they're being leftists.
They're leftists, or they're Jewish controlled, or they're SJWs. It's just fucking full-on cope and delusion.
What is it? Are we too fucking on the right, or now we're left? Like, what is it?
Oh, I know.
Andy Wokeski, very funny. Yeah.
It's Wokeski.
This is like, dude, this is just like when a leftist goes, everyone I don't like is Hitler. It's like the same shit. It's like, he has these points of views. It's the Hassan cope. It's the Hassan fucking cope.
What I don't understand is why these guys can't just shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
They just won't shut the fuck up and just let it go. They have to defend him. And they have to try and force this insane worldview. It's like, well, in centuries past, children worked in the coal mines. It's like, so? Like, we're supposed to go back to that? Like, is it a good thing that children were working in the coal mines as young as 5 years old during the Industrial Revolution? Well, it made them strong. It's like, okay, by this same sort of argument they're making, it's like, back in the 1890s, the age of consent was 10 years old. Are you saying we should go back to that as well? Like, well, it's a traumatizing experience that'll toughen them up. This is the shit that these people are saying.
But what about the child porn?
But,
like,
you know,
it's absolute
you know what,
madness.
though? Look, I'll say this, too. Yes, when I was younger, my parents were at work, I had to microwave like pizza pops. I had to make some cereal. I had to do this. I do that. Yeah. No, I understand that. Look, kids should be able to make their own cereal.
But guess what? When there's no cereal in the house to make,
exactly,
then there becomes a problem.
And when your house has mold,
they're supposed to step up. The older one is supposed to work full time while going to school, while performing all the domestic duties for his 4 siblings. How about fuck you? And it's like, you know, they bring up examples of like families in poverty that are struggling. I consider that completely irrelevant, considering this family wasn't in poverty. This is a family of millionaires. Do you understand? Like, Rekieta made $1.2 million in super chats, but his kids don't have food or clean clothes. And this guy's like, oh, well, you know, why didn't they go to the laundry machine? Well, the laundry machine is past the master bedroom. So they'd have to go through a crack den where 4 to a bed, their mother and father are fucking strange men and women, Aaron and fucking April, and watch this degenerate shit to get to the. I wonder why they didn't want to go to the washing machine.
And by the
it's
way,
like, they're like, these kids ratted on their parents at the first opportunity. It must have been bad for these kids to come forward and say something. It was years of neglect. And months of, it seems like, supreme neglect where they didn't even have the nanny to take care of them. So I don't want to fucking hear this bullshit from these people. They're absolute fucking scumbags. They don't care about the kids at all. They don't care about how much of a danger Rekieta is to himself and to others. All they care about is sweeping for Rekieta so they can make money and get viewers from him.